The Reform UK leader, Nigel Farage, has insisted that those he called bad apples are no longer in the party. But hours later, one of their parliamentary candidates announced he was backing the Tories instead. Booth-Isherwood said he had become increasingly disillusioned by reports of racism and sexism in the party. Meanwhile, Rishi Sunak claimed that the UK was a better place to live now than it had been in 2010. And a warning, Jane Dodge's report contains offensive language.
Farage's policies are racist.
No, they're not. They're not racist.
It's the accusation that has followed Nigel Farage throughout his career.
Reform UK!
It's a racist party.
But those attending today's Reform UK rally in Birmingham were having none of it.
There's no way I'm a racist at all. No way.
Inside, it was Trumpian in style for the arrival of the man who only decided to stand in this general election less than a month ago. Nigel Farage dismissed the Prime Minister as slippery Sunak and said Sir Keir Starmer had the charisma of a damp rag. With some opinion polls showing Reform UK as the second biggest party, he was elated about his party's future.
We will become the voice of opposition, and my intention, given that we're hitting 60,000 paid-up members today, over 200,000 people now, supporters on our database. We're growing rapidly. My intention is we build, over the course of the next few years, a mass movement, the likes of which has never been seen in the modern history of this country. A mass movement for real change. Are you with us on the journey for the next 4 days? Are you with us on the journey for the next 5 years?
Mr Farage described those Reform candidates who'd expressed racist or misogynistic views as a few bad apples that had now gone.
And I understand why the BBC don't like me.
He spent far longer attacking the BBC and Channel 4 News for their coverage. It follows an undercover investigation by this programme into Mr Farage's Clacton campaign. It included a Reform canvasser, Andrew Parker, making racist comments, including these about the Prime Minister.
I've always been a Tory voter. What annoys me is the he got in. What's good is he? You tell me, you know, he's just wet.
Mr Farage described the revelations as a put-up job and smear campaign. But Mr Parker has gone on record saying he wasn't paid by anyone and had never met the undercover investigator before. More racist comments by Mr Parker, this time on TikTok, have been reported today by The Sun on Sunday. Mr Parker has previously denied being a racist. After the anger the Prime Minister expressed about Mr Parker's racist remarks about him, he used a visit to a London synagogue to talk about the need for unity rather than division.
My own personal story is different from yours. Despite the assertion in the Jewish Chronicle that, and I quote, Rishi Sunak is a nice Jewish boy, I am a Hindu, not a Jew. But I do know something of what it is like to be seen as different from others, and even to experience hatred directed towards you and your community because of who you are.
Very nice to see you.
And this afternoon, a small piece of good news for Mr Sunak. Reform candidate Booth-Isherwood has announced he's switching his allegiance to the Tories, saying he's become increasingly disillusioned with the behaviour of his party. The Labour leader's big moment this weekend was a rally last night. There were endorsements from celebrities including Elton John, before Sir Keir Starmer listed what he said were the failures of the Tory government.
Don't forget what they have done. Don't forget Partygate. Don't forget the COVID contracts. Don't forget the lies. Don't forget the kickbacks. Don't forget the cronyism. Don't forget the division, the scapegoating of minorities, telling working people we're all in it together. The people who hurt your family finances swanning around in the House of Lords after giving tax cuts to the richest 1% that crashed our economy. Don't forget any of it.
Labour may still be well ahead in the polls, but Sir Keir Starmer once again warned the party faithful against complacency. as politicians head into the final few days of campaigning.